Yeah. It's Divine Sense Boxing in the building. Yes, you guys just got a sneak peek to a new little intro that I'm working on. Hope you guys like the new flavor. Welcome to another one, man. It is Monday morning chop session, starting off a new week strong. You know, what I like to do is kick it off strong. First, I want to shout out to John Walker. Not sure if you're still in the chat. You jumped in early and you said that you had a conversation with somebody talking about Ali. And they said that Ali used a tactic where you had to hold the back of the opponent's heads to tire them out. When you meet those type of people, all you got to do is just shimmy and keep it moving. You know what I mean? We got Black Alpha in the house. We got Antoine Richardson, who's an official member of the channel. Respect. Freddie Ruger in the house. Trick Boxing, another official member of the channel. Kenneth Perry, what's good, man? Don't mind me. I'm just here because someone said Wilder. Good morning, Divine and Boxing fam. Let's cook. Absolutely. That's what's about to go down. We got TS Boxing in the house. Jelly Bean, salute fam, peace and blessings. Felix Garza in the chat as well. Man, what a lineup to kick it off. Now, I would assume that you guys are ready to go, fired up, got your legs stretched out Monday morning, because anytime you know that Devon Sense Boxing is going to bring up anything in regards to Wilder and Fury, you know how it's going to go down. And not only that, we're going to look at another film study. We've broken down the fight. We've broken down the face-off between Wilder and Fury. And now we're going to break into the press conference leading up to the original date of July 24th, which we were starved from as boxing fans. But this is something that I like to do. I like to revisit things to freshen people's minds, because like I said the other night when I went live for 6 hours, that's right, the last live I just did was 6 hours long. That's your boy Devon Sense putting in that work and making sure that people understand where we're coming from over here. And in that live stream, I said, there's a lot to be told from that press conference, and because the fight continues to inch closer and closer and closer, I must ask, what are you going to do, Fury? what are you going to do? So, we're about to get right up into it right quick. And make sure that you guys are smashing that like button. You guys know the drill, man. As soon as you guys come in, like I said in the chat here, I said slip, slide, jab the like button first and foremost. So what I'm going to do, Alfred, was good. Good to see you in. Just buying a little bit of time here. I know people are starting to get their notifications. I want everybody to get in here as quickly as they can so they don't miss anything. But I am setting up all the videos. I'm setting up the grill, getting ready to cook. And in the meantime, I want to let you guys know that I do have another channel that I've actually had for a very long time. And if you've been subscribed to me for more than 10 years, you guys would know I have another channel called the Internal Beast Podcast. And over on that channel is where I talk a lot about a lot of different issues, current events, social issues, world travels, many different things. So if you want to step away from boxing for a moment and jump over there and listen to my thoughts on other topics, then make sure you run over there and jump to that channel as well. So, we can continue to grow the voice here. Fury Wilder 3 press conference. This is going to be good. I mean, real good. So we got it lined up. Now, before, I'm guessing everybody obviously has seen it, and you guys know how I do it. And now, ladies, I'm going to start from the very beginning and go brick by brick, piece by piece, just like I did in the Fury Wilder 2 film study. I don't like to do none of this, highlight reel and, pick and choose, because then people accuse me of being biased. So that's why I played from the very beginning, brick by brick, all the way to the end. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts live on what I'm seeing. Now, you may be asking, why are you bringing up the press conference, though? Well, because we're not going to get another press conference, and we've been starved of the July 24th date. We've now had to wait until October 9th, obviously. So basically what I'm doing is I'm reinserting a press conference for you guys. So, you guys should thank me. I'm keeping the juices flowing. I'm keeping the battery charged. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm doing it. And on top of that, I want to make sure that people understand, especially those people in the back, that there's a lot more that meets the eye when it came to that press conference. And everything that happened in that press conference, every word that was said, every action during that press conference is going to segue right into the fight October 9th. It's just been put on pause. That's it. That's it. Moped, what's good? Good to see you in the chat. Cristiano, what's good? Welcome to the chat. JD Walker, the boss talker. I'm hungry and ready to eat. Man, I got my grill out, and, I'm just buying a little bit of time. I like to wait around 10 minutes or so, let people jump in. People get notifications a little bit later than others. Some other channels were live earlier. So just waiting, making sure that we get the proper foundation up in here so we can get the grills lit up, get it smoky, and start cooking. All right. Got my tea. I'm ready to go. So you guys are all waking up. Sun is out, piercing through the windows here. Getting that vitamin D, feeling nice and fresh. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys got that energy through the universe, seeping through the pores here, ready to get down. For me, I got the moonlight shining through the windows, no sunlight. So I got to keep refreshed with this tea right here, keep me mentally sharp so I can do these film studies with you guys, man. But I'm looking forward to it, and we're about to get into it right now. Cristiano says the press conference has Rocky 3 vibes. One guy playing up to the media, the other one not having any of it. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Joe, what's good? All right. You guys ready? You guys are buckled in? Yeah? Rotate your shoulders. Let's do this. Let's do this. Press conference. Fury, Wilder, 3. As you can see here in the backdrop, this was supposed to be leading up to the July 24th date. Like I said, we were starved from that date. And that's why Divine Sense Boxing, I'm going to do everyone a favor. We're going to rerun it. We're going to replay it. We're going to relive the moment. And we keep the juices flowing and continue to creep closer to the new date, October 9th. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit different than how other people do it, and that's give commentary and shed some light on things that I think a lot of people missed. All right. We got the crew ready. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring our fighters out onto the stage. We'll begin with the challenger, standing at 6 feet 7 inches tall with a tremendous record of 42 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 41 big wins coming by way of...
Let me know you guys can hear it okay. Just give me a thumbs up emoji. Let me know that you can hear it, so we'll keep it rolling here. Naman, what's good? Good to see you here. Good to see you. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button when you guys come in. Just give me the thumbs up emoji. Let me know that you guys can hear it. I don't want to be playing this and talking to myself. All right, we good. All right, here we go.
Knockout. The 2008 U.S. Olympic bronze medalist. He is ranked the WBC #1 heavyweight in the world from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Please welcome the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder.
So you guys know the drill, man. Headphones, sunglasses, Deontay Wilder t-shirt. We know this. We're going to get into why, because questions start forming here very soon. And the thing is I don't think a lot of people caught it right away. People just thought, oh, maybe he's listening to music backstage. He'll probably take the headphones off. People didn't expect him to keep the headphones on the entire time. But, we'll get into why.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent is the defending champion, standing at 6 feet 9 inches with a record of 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. From Manchester, England, here is the undefeated WBC and lineal heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Look. Who comes to a press conference without a t-shirt? In boxing. We ain't talking about MMA. In boxing. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't know. I guess I'm getting old. But for me, I feel like boxing separates itself from any other combat sport, as a gentleman's sport. Show respect before you get in the ring, show respect after you get out of the ring, 2 men fight, that kind of thing. It's okay have a little bit of trash talking and whatnot leading up to it or during press conferences. But this right here, for me, this is my opinion. Okay, you don't have to agree with my opinion, but my opinion is just nobody wants to see this, man. Nobody wants to see this. And you're forcing people to look at this during the entire press conference. He looks like he just got done taking a line of coke before he walked out here. Glasses on, hat turned backwards, chain hanging low, shirt off. I don't know what he's wearing as far as pants. I don't know what's going on with that. They look like Elvis Presley pants. 1970s Elvis. But nobody's trying to look at that, man. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this guy is a clown, man. I can't do anything but laugh at this dude, man. For real. If it was me fighting Joshua, I would be sitting there just laughing. This dude is a joke. And I remember watching this when it first happened. And I was thinking to myself, is this guy for real? But when you rerun it back and you've already seen it, it's like watching any movie for the second time, third time. Like you're expecting it, right? So you actually absorb a little bit more of action, comedy, drama, whatever it may be, because you have more time to digest it. So I guess this is what's happening right now. And all I can do is just laugh. I mean, going up behind Malik. And look at Malik. Look at Malik Scott. He's like, man, I got to deal with this bullshit. He's like, I got to deal with this clown, man. Look at, he's got his head in his hands. Wilder's on his phone with his headphones on because he knows the type of bullshit that's about to happen. This is how he looked. Yo, check this out. This is how he looked after he got COVID, supposedly. And then he went out in Vegas a few days later, shirtless. I kid you not. I'm not even making that up. He literally went out to Vegas shirtless, just like this. This is what he was wearing. Fist bumping, chest bumping, dancing, prancing around, hooting, hollering. Life is good. I just effed Wilder over again. I have a tendency to do that. He ain't worth my time anyways. He'll deal with it. He'll accept it. Wilder's at my mercy now. That bravado, that cocky attitude. This is on display right here. It's on display right here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And see, I want people to pay attention to body language. Look at that smirk. This is what you call a smirk right here. This is how dudes get laid out in the street, smirking like this. That moment a dude smirking at you and like, what are you smirking at? Pop, left hook. Just disrespect, man. And you see, this is why I wanted to do this, because a lot of people twist this and they say, oh, well, Fury's going to do what he does. And the fact that Wilder was sitting there with his headphones on and looking at his phone, he's mentally weak because he can't deal with Tyson Fury. Well, why would you? Why would you want to deal with this clown? Because he probably, if he didn't do what he did, he probably would have knocked him out at the press conference. And then, he would have been characterized as the bully, the big scary black man. Look what he did. And so he knows that, right? So he's like, I'm not going to even he didn't even look up at him once. And the only time that he looked at him is when he was forced to do a face-off. I want people to understand, too, before there's any other questions, because there are a lot of people in the back. You know, I've made this video, this live stream today in particular for subscribers and members only, because I don't trust you people out there staring from the backside, you know, peeping through the blinds. I don't trust you guys. But I know you're there. And what I want to point out is people have to understand, right, that there's a lot more behind this than like I said earlier before I started this stream, a lot more than what meets the eye. Okay? And we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it.
Jumpers here.
Sit your ass
Mind if
down.
I do? Sit down right here.
Look at Bob. Look at
It's a good thing I
Bob's
checked.
punk ass. I'm going to try not to cuss tonight, but I can't make any guarantees. Please don't have any children around, you know, because I get heated in these type of situations. I can already start to feel my blood boiling.
My wardrobe, I was going to wear the same thing here today, but Tyson always wins. Saturday, July 24th is the date. Highly anticipated third chapter for the heavyweight rivalry between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Fury looking to defend his WBC title against the former world champion and rival Wilder. The event will be available on pay-per-view.
Bruce Good.
from
Sorry,
the
Bruce Goes.
T-Mobile
What's good,
Arena
man? Good
in
to see
Las
you.
Vegas, Nevada. And it's brawl brought to you by
Make sure you hit that like button as soon as you come in.
With Bomb Squad Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions in a premier boxing champions presentation. Want to let you know
Wilder
that
literally
tickets for the
can't hear
live
nothing
event
right
are
now. He's
available
got
on
some
T
noise
Arena,
canceling headphones.
TMobileArena.com and AXS.com.
Probably playing
let's meet
solitaire
some
on
of
his
the
phone.
Teams that are joining our fighters here
And
on
he's
the stage.
basically
First of
just
all,
probably cringing
we
his teeth
have
waiting
the
to get up out of
trainer.
here.
We'll go to the challenger side, longtime friend, former heavyweight.
And I want people to understand too that there's no rule written anywhere that you have to speak at a press conference. Now you have to appear physically, or they'll probably fine you or take other disciplinary action. So he did his part. He showed up. And if he didn't have to show up, he probably wouldn't have. But, you know, he showed up and he did his part. But there's no rule that says you got to speak at a press conference. Just FYI. So all of you guys out there getting all bent out of shape because you couldn't hear Wilder speak. I mean, didn't they speak enough leading up to the first and second fight? I mean, what else is there to be said, man? Like, for real. But I'll keep it moving. Man. Antoine, new member to the channel, bro. I appreciate you. It looks like you hit it up twice. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe you got two different packages. Respect. Let's do it.
Great, and the new trainer for Deontay Wilder, Malik Scott. We'll have chances for Q&A for Malik Scott a little bit later on. And on the other side of the podium, we have the trainer for Tyson Fury.
Look at Sugar Hill. What's up, Sugar? Where you been at? I heard Fury went back to the UK, Sugar. Where you been at? I heard John Fury, I call him Big Boy John or Big Daddy John. Big Daddy John, he don't want Tyson to work with you no more, Sugar. What's going on? Where you at, Sugar? What you doing? You look confident here leading up to the July 24th date. I wonder if you were disappointed, Sugar Hill. I wonder if you were disappointed that the fight was postponed because Tyson got COVID. Or maybe you knew that he didn't get COVID. How about that? How about that plot twist? Yo, check that out, man. How about that plot twist? Maybe Sugar Hill knew that Tyson didn't get COVID and he threatened to talk. So they fired his ass and they made him sign a contract. If you say anything, we'll fine you. We'll take you to court for defamation or some shit. We'll sue you. I don't know. That's a plot twist right there. Well, but where you at, Sugar? We haven't seen you in a while. We haven't heard from you in a while, Sugar.
Of course, the longtime and respected trainer from the Kronk Gym in Detroit, Sugar Hill Stewart.
Antoine,
along
respect,
with the
bro.
Hall of
Not
Fame
only
promoter, the
becoming
one and
a
only Bob
premium
Arum.
member,
Now,
but
ladies
also
and gentlemen,
dropping
let's
that
hear from
super
our
chat.
fighters.
That's
Without
some love
further
right
ado,
there, man.
first
I
of all, the
appreciate you, bro.
challenger, former longtime heavyweight champion, known as the Bronze Bomber. He re-energized the heavyweight division when he captured the WBC title in January of 2015. He made 10 successful defenses of his title, won 9 of them by knockout. Known for his electrifying power, his knockout ratio is 93%, still standing as the highest
That's right.
for any
93%.
champion, current or
93% KO
Seeking
ratio.
revenge.
Did you hear that, Tyson Fury? 93% KO ratio. Still the highest knockout ratio of heavyweight history. I'm just making sure because Tyson's not wearing headphones. Deontay is. Tyson's not. So I just want to make sure that Tyson heard that. Because it's coming. The storm is coming. And speaking of storms, we got Stormy B, man, in the building. What's good? Came in just in time, Stormy B. Got the grill out. I got the gas turned up high. Flame is burning. And we are cooking. JD Walker, the boss talker, says sugar is just a side chick. LOL. Hey, but real talk though, where is he? Where you at, sugar? Hey, plot twist though, like I said, man. Plot twist. Sugar Hill knew that Tyson Fury didn't test positive for COVID. And that's probably another added ingredient to the whole John Fury doesn't want Tyson Fury to train with Sugar Hill because he don't think that style is going to work the third time, you know. But I think there's a lot more to it. If you ask Devon Sense Boxing, that's my opinion. I think there's more to it. I think Sugar Hill knew Tyson Fury was out there bullshitting around because, you know, Sugar Hill, he's looking pretty confident over here. He was ready for July 24th. But maybe the gods, the boxing gods, that is, did Sugar Hill a favor. Maybe they did him a favor. Because I don't think you want that knockout on your record too, Sugar Hill, because guess what? If July 24th would have happened, Tyson Fury would have been knocked out, and guess what? That's not a good look for you, Sugar. So perhaps you got to thank your lucky stars that you're no longer involved with it. We'll keep it moving.
His only loss, we invite him to the microphone at this time, the challenger, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Make sure you guys are hitting that like button when you come in. Let's see what Deontay has to say. Look at look at Tyson Fury as Deontay walks up to the mic. Y'all take notice to this. Man, I love doing these reviews, man. I'm telling you, you guys miss this little bit of information. That's exactly why I did the Fury Wilder 2 film study. Because we missed these little bits and pieces right here. Watch as Wilder walks up to the podium. Jimmy's got to touch him on the shoulder because he clearly can't hear nothing. Like I said, he's got his sound cancellation headphones going on, playing solitaire, you know, listening to probably some nice hip-hop instrumentals that his boys sent him back in Alabama. He's chilling right now. So Jimmy's got to tap him on the shoulder. Wilder doesn't acknowledge Fury at all as he's walking towards the podium, and then Fury's he's trying to mean mug him the whole time. Take notice. Take notice. Wilder was like, oh, shit. Oh, I got to put my solitaire on pause. Pause the instrumental my boy sent me back in Alabama, and I got a few words I got to say. Now look at Tyson. Look at Tyson. He's watching him all the way. All the way. He even looks up to try and make eye contact, and Wilder never looked at him once. Wilder never looked at him once. Now, you see, I got something to put on it. I got to sprinkle a little something interesting on that. Because, you know, Fury fans, and there are a lot of people who are not even Fury fans who criticize Wilder for doing this, not replying to media, wearing headphones and all that. But like I said, I want to sprinkle something a little bit more interesting to add on and counter those people who think that Wilder's mentally weak and did what he did. And I want to say this. I'm ex-military, right? And in the military, we got this thing called military bearing. The 1,000-yard stare. You got to stand at attention, and doesn't matter what's going on around you. People screaming in your face. You got a chick with the G-string twerking over on the corner, whatever the case is. You got to keep looking straight forward. Military bearing. That takes discipline. That takes mental fortitude. So how is Deontay Wilder mentally weak when it takes even more mental fortitude, as I just mentioned, to not look at all? That takes discipline. So the focus was already starting leading up to July 24th. He's got even more focus now that he's got more time in his back pocket. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Once again, for all the people in the back, because I know you're watching. I know you're creeping. And like Stormy likes to say, creeping through the bushes and the blinds. So, food for thought. It takes, and this is from a military man, it takes a lot more discipline to stay focused like he is than to give in to a sociopath and a guy who's probably bipolar as well. You're better off being focused and not getting involved with that BS. We'll keep it moving.
I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'd like to thank my amazing team. And I'd like to thank my strong legal team as well. Look.
And y'all know he said that for a reason, right? Obviously. That's one little prick in Fury's side. And it's like, because Wilder knows he's not going to say anything. He knows he's not going to answer any questions to the press. He's already planned this. But it's just that little thorn in Fury's side to just say, I want to thank my strong legal team. Because your punk ass tried to duck the third fight, didn't you, Fury? But thanks to my strong legal team, we here, aren't we? We here. Then he tried to get COVID. He tried to duck again. So he said that on purpose.
Look, enough said. Time to cut off his head. It comes July the 24th, there will be bloodshed. Get your tickets now. I'll see you soon.
That's it. That's all a grown man has to say. After what? 3 years of trials and tribulations and animosity, chaos. That's how a grown man acts. That's maturity right there. And I want to say this. Deontay Wilder wasn't always mature. He had to grow up. He entered boxing late. He, along the way of, being on his path of being the heavyweight champion, he had some bumps in the road. He had moments in his life where, his age showed, like a lot of boxers do, especially when they start getting money. But he matured massively, and he just displayed it right there. That's all a grown man has to say after 3 years, as I just mentioned, of trials and tribulations, chaos, animosity, and disrespect. What else needs to be said? Get your tickets now. Get your tickets now. There's going to be bloodshed. That's it. Joe says, how come I didn't notice all these little details? Thanks, Divine. This is exactly why I'm doing it, Joe. This is exactly why I'm doing it. And it's exactly why I did the film study of the second fight. Because people miss the small details. People see only what's on the surface. They get the adrenaline rush. And for most people, they saw this as a mental weakness from Wilder, and Fury bullied Wilder and Wilder's scared and all this, right? That's what the vast majority of the media and boxing fans were saying. But you see, you know how many times I've watched this press conference? Probably at least a dozen times. Why? Because I like to look at the small details. That's what a calculated man does. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a calculated man does. And when people get all bent out of shape because I'm picking Wilder to knock Fury out, they think I'm just a fanboy. They think that I'm just going because I don't like Fury, or I'm going with Wilder because I don't like Fury, and I want to ride the train, the Wilder train. I don't need to just jump on the Wilder train. I've been on the Wilder train back since 2012, since 2013. Where you been at? Fury fans, where you been at? Most of y'all became fans of Fury when he beat Klitschko. Y'all didn't care about no Tyson Fury. How could you? Tyson Fury never even went to the Olympics to represent his country. So you didn't care about the Gypsy King back then, did you? Then he beats Klitschko, and he's the next best heavyweight that Britain has ever created. Out there disrespecting Joshua too. And I'm not even a Joshua fan. But that's the fact. So before anybody wants to accuse me of, oh, you just jumping on the Wilder train because you want Fury to lose, I've been on the train. Where you been at? Go do your research. I've been talking about Deontay Wilder since 2014-15. Before a lot of you guys didn't even know who he was. And no, besides that point that I just, had to make, because it's been scratching at the surface, but on top of that, I actually study fights. I actually look at the small details. I actually pull each and every brick out and then place it back in like a puzzle. I don't need to be a Wilder fan to know, with my boxing ability and boxing intelligence of the sport and how long I've been talking about it and been involved in it, I don't need rocket science ability to figure out that Wilder is not only going to knock out Fury, but do it in devastating fashion. Mark my words and write it on the wall. And I think I just did that whole rant without cussing, so I'm proud of myself. And I get going, man. I get going like this, and I'm sorry. I want to play this video, but if you want me to see something and you got a question for me, or you want to interject or whatever, man, just leave a super chat, highlight some shit, because I'm going crazy and I just cussed. Trying to turn a new leaf, man. See, but this is the man right here. Fury, he pulls it out of me. He pulls it out of me. And I think it might be because I've met too many people like Fury in my life. So when I see a Fury, being on the or in the limelight, heavyweight champion of the world, something that I have the utmost respect for, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Joe Louis, all those guys, I have respect for those men. So the fact that he's supposed to be a heavyweight champion, I mean, he's a current WBC heavyweight champion right now. He ain't acting like a champion. So on top of that, I've met a lot of people, unfortunately, in my life, just like Tyson Fury. So that's probably why it uproots me into the person I am right now, ranting and raving on the mic on YouTube. So Wilder has said what he needed to say, and I'm going to replay it just a little bit. I'm going to rewind it back a little bit. So for the people who just joined in, because we're starting to get more and more people into the live chat here, and I appreciate you for stopping by. Make sure you smash that like button. I'm going to replay it so we can watch again one more time what Wilder had to say. Man of little words, and rightfully so. And from this position right here, I just want to throw this out there. Wilder could have thrown a roundhouse kick at Fury's head at this point, but I respect him for his patience and disciplined here, because I probably would have did a roundhouse kick on Fury's head from this position, from the distance that Wilder is currently standing away from Fury. It would have been a nice, beautiful kick to the face.
I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'd like to thank my amazing team, and I'd like to thank my strong legal team as well. Look, enough said. Time to cut off his head. And come July the 24th, there will be bloodshed. Get your tickets now. I'll see you soon.
Once again, we'll have opportunity for Q&A for both of our fighters following their opening comments. Now I introduce to you, my pleasure to introduce the defending world champion.
It's not my pleasure.
He's held the lineal
Thank you
crown
anyways,
since
Jimmy.
dethroning Vladimir Klitschko in November of 2015. He has inspired millions across the globe with his comebacks, both inside the ring and outside the ring as well. After their dramatic first fight ended in a draw, Fury knocked out Wilder in the rematch to capture the WBC heavyweight title. Once again, here's the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Good afternoon, everybody. Morning.
Why am I forced, as a boxing fan, to watch a press conference of two heavyweight champions, and I'm forced to look at this mess? And I'm not even really criticizing his physique here, which I can easily do. I mean, obviously, I'm a strength and conditioning coach for a living, and I can really roast his ass. But I mean, just a mess. Shirt off, press conference, chain hanging low, sunglasses on, hat turned backwards, wearing Elvis Presley, 1975 Elvis Presley pants. Obviously, he thinks this is a big joke. So it's just a big joke. But it's sad that I'm forced to look at this. I have to close my eyes while he speaks, probably.
I don't know what time it is. Afternoon. Firstly, I'd like to say congratulations to Deontay Wilder for finding his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
And I want to say this real quick, because I don't know if you guys caught it, but that was the first thing that Deontay said. He said he wanted to thank his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or what have you. And as soon as Wilder live, like when I watched it live, not live, but the first time I watched it, as soon as Deontay said that, I knew Tyson Fury was going to say something, because if you guys remember, right, I already did the film study of the face-off that they had, right? And they had this whole back and forth about alter egos, and Fury was saying, "Oh, my, Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and there's only one God," and he was trying to criticize Wilder because Wilder was bringing up, past spirits and things like that. So as soon as Wilder said, right off the bat, and I also think that there was strategy behind that as well. And I could honestly care less on who a man worships. That's irrelevant to me. But I feel like it's planned and strategic by Wilder to make sure that he says that first. The second thing he said was, "I want to thank my strong legal team." Two calculated and strategic statements by Wilder. And as soon as he made them, I knew Fury was going to try to spin it and basically mock Wilder, referring back to the face-off leading up to the first fight, with this big cross necklace hanging down. It's about to insert his belly button, basically. I don't know what's going on. I mean, what a mess. What a mess I'm looking at.
Before the last fight, he was comparing gods, and we know my God won, so congratulations. And after all this bloodshed stuff, not so certain. Heard it all before, to be fair. Said all this last time. decapitation and bloodshed and all that. And we all know what went down there. So, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people got a lot of questions and they want to know certain facts, including myself. So I'll leave the questions open to the floor. Keep it short and simple from me. Thank you very much.
And he's probably disappointed too that Wilder didn't say more, and Wilder kept it very short. I feel like he's probably very disappointed. He was looking forward to having a verbal wrestling match with Wilder. And for me, I feel like he's walking away from the podium like, damn, I thought this was going to be better. So go ahead and pull up your 1975 Elvis pants there, Tyson, before you sit down. God forbid you sit down before you pull them up. You might rip your pants open, bro. And like, not that you would care, but I ain't trying to see none of that. So please pull them up.
And reminding you, our date, of course, is Saturday, July the 21st, T-Mobile Arena. Tickets are available at tmobilearena.com for the live event, along with
Hoplotype, what's good, man? Thanks for stopping by.
AXS.com. And the event is promoted by Top Rank Incorporated, Bomb Squad Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions in a Premier Boxing Champions present.
I want to point this out, too, by Alfred here. Alfred says, Wilder was a Christian the whole time, but this is a perfect reverse psychological warfare tactic. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. And I pointed out in the face-off, I wanted to make it clear about Wilder's message, you know, because people were misconstruing his message and they were basically picking out of it what they wanted. And that's what Fury did, too, because he's simple-minded like that. Well, Wilder basically said in the face-off to Fury that I'm open-minded. You're not. I could consider Jesus to be my God. I can be a Christian, but I also understand that there's a deeper meaning behind just a simple religion between myself and a relationship with one single deity. I feel like, you know, there are spirits that are around us every day and, you know, they represent something and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously Wilder is a much more spiritual, like more deeper in his spirituality than what Fury is. And this is not a tug of war battle on who's more religious or who's more Christian or whatever. And it shouldn't be. It's actually Fury trying to do that. Fury was trying to prove that he was more religious, more righteous, more noble than what Wilder is. And then he tried to criticize him because he wasn't Christian enough. You see, these are the things that you guys have to point out and understand. Like, there's a reason why I bring this up. It's not a conversation and debate about religion. I'm just letting you guys know not to get caught up with the BS that Wilder spouts out of his mouth.
And now we turn to our Q&A session. My pleasure to hand over the microphone duties to trailblazing commentator, hostess, and reporter for Top Rank Boxing and ESPN, Christina Puncher. Christina?
Go on, Christina.
I wore my extra high heels for you guys. All right, so before...
I'm going to skip through Christina a little bit.
To talk a little bit about the chemistry.
She's going to ask... I think she tries to ask Wilder some questions. Obviously, he's not having it. And then they refer to Malik. And stand by, because it's going to get a little bit heated between Malik Scott and Tyson Fury.
That you've built with Deontay. Not many people know how long you guys have actually been friends. And although not in his corner, on his side and on his team. So if you could talk a little bit about the chemistry that you and Deontay had even before he made that phone call to you at 3 a.m. to kind of made you his trainer.
We always had a chemistry as brotherhood, but for this fight, one thing I can say is before Deontay and I even talked about me moving forward as far as his head trainer, I wanted to make sure that we had the same chemistry as far as fighter and trainer. I wanted that to be better than brotherhood. You know what I mean? And from...
Yeah, I agree with you, Razor. She's a bit dull and boring. That's my personal opinion, and I'll just leave it at that.
Ever since I've started working with him as far as training him and taking that position, our chemistry as fighter and trainer by far passes our chemistry as our brotherhood. So, you know, I'm impressed with him and how he's adapted and how receptive he is and everything. So, yeah.
Deontay, last time we were up here, it was Tyson who had a new trainer sitting next to him, and you spoke about him making changes to his team, changing trainers and all that. You decided to make a change. Why was Malik the right person for the job to get it done this third time? Deontay?
You said, why was I the right one to get it done for the job?
Yes.
Straight up ignored her, like blatantly ignored her. And when she touched him on the shoulder, he didn't even look up at her. And this is why when people say, oh, he's mentally weak and this and that, I mean, he's so engraved in his plan here. He's thought all this out. I mean, this is all planned out, man. Do you think this is random? Like he just woke up in the morning and said, I ain't going to speak. He thought about this long and hard. And he basically made the decision that it doesn't matter what they try to do, touch me, stand in front of me, do the hokey poke in front of me, try to catch my attention. It's not going to work. I'm not answering anything. I've said my little, 10 to 12 word monologue. Time to cut off his head. There will be bloodshed. Get your tickets now. That's all a grown man needs to say. Like I said, after all the animosity and everything that leading up from the first, second, now the third fight, 3 years of all this. So he's made up his mind. And obviously he made an agreement and understanding with Malik Scott that, they can ask me questions. I'm not answering nothing. If you want to answer, you can answer. But I found that kind of funny how he blatantly ignored. He didn't even acknowledge when she tapped him on the shoulder. Now, I think they do. I think when she reverts to Bob Arum, and Bob Arum was taking 5,000 years to answer a question, she leaned over and talked to Wilder a little bit. And I think that's when he tells her, I'm not speaking tonight.
Is Malik the right person for the job to get it done this third time? Deontay?
You said, why was I the right one to get it done for the job?
Yes.
I believe with a fighter like Deontay, right? He's naturally raw power. I believe someone.
And people got real upset, especially at this moment, when she asked him a direct question and he blatantly ignored her. That's when people started to really get upset. And they said, how dare this man do this at a press conference? There's all these, media sources out here to speak to you and record and put it on YouTube, and you're refusing to speak. And that filtered down to the fans, right? Because they're the one at the press conference recording it, there to get all the evidence they can of the press conference and then go back into the hotel rooms or whatnot and upload it up on YouTube. It's a big race to load it up on YouTube first, obviously, with all these big media outlets. And it filters down from them. And so him doing this really, really, I think, started to get people really upset.
Like myself, that is extremely technically sound from my own background of boxing. It just matched well. But the thing with us is the chemistry. I believe there's great fighters in the world, right, that have great teachers. But then I believe there's great fighters in the world that have good chemistry with a good or okay teacher, and that makes them, and it makes it work for them. So our chemistry is firing on all cylinders on both sides.
So what kind of imprint do you?
And I agree with what Malik Scott just said there. I'll rewind it one more time. Listen carefully to what he says.
I believe with a fighter like Deontay, right, he's naturally raw power. I believe someone like myself that is extremely technically sound from my own background of boxing, it just matched well. But
which is true, which is what we've been saying for a very long time. You got raw power, raw strength, natural athletic ability. You bring in somebody like Malik Scott, who's also a former heavyweight, who was a much more technical boxer as a heavyweight. So he's going to bring that to the table. Then you add other extra bonus elements to it. He's a big man. He's able to hold mitts for Deontay. Deontay's able to load up on shots better and more often. And Malik's going to have that heavyweight perspective. Every time they hit the mitts, do pad work, do heavy bag work, and fine tune those fundamentals, man, using the jab, using footwork, pivoting in and out, go to the body, keeping your guard up nice and tight, fundamentals of boxing, something that Wilder can do and has shown through his training footages that obviously he has the natural ability to learn quickly and adapt quickly and do and display the things that Malik has been implementing. And this is, again, guys, don't forget, this is leading up to July 24th. Even more time now going into October 9th.
The thing with us is the chemistry. I believe there's great fighters in the world, right, that have great teachers. But then I believe there's great fighters in the world that have good chemistry with a good or okay teacher, and that makes it work for them. So our chemistry is firing on all cylinders on both sides.
So what kind of...
So he brought up chemistry, like Ali and Angelo Dundee. You know what I mean? Like, they had chemistry. They understood each other. They respected each other. And even though Angelo Dundee, to my knowledge, I don't think he was ever even a boxer, to my knowledge, but he was just a great teacher. And he knew how to work with fighters and have that mental aspect to it and that mental element to it, and can motivate people and keep people focused and just had that positive energy. You know what I mean? So Deontay's very lucky, to be honest. And I think Deontay understands that and respects that. He's lucky that not only he has a guy who's a heavyweight who has all the skills that he has, but also he has somebody that he respects. And Malik respects him. And I don't think he had that with his previous camps, especially most recently. It may have been okay as he was winning and knocking dudes out. I guess it was probably okay on the surface. But as he started to step up and started to fight the likes of Tyson Fury, I think true colors started to show. Animosity and jealousy and things like that started to show. And I think that affected him mentally. And I think a lot of people shrug at that, don't think it's a big deal, but it's very relevant in boxing. Fighters go through a lot of mental turmoil, especially at this level. So to have somebody there in your corner where you have mutual respect and he understands you from a fighter's perspective as well, which is a bonus. Great move to bring in Malik Scott, in my opinion. Very good move.
Imprint do you see yourself making in this fight?
Deontay has made the imprint. He's made the mental adjustments. All I needed was a receptive athlete. I'm not even talking about his ability and everything I've been seeing him do over the last 10 years. He's already made the mental adjustments to do everything I need him to do when we're in that ring. He's already made the mental adjustments to turn his household into his training facility. Eat, sleep, and shit boxing. And that's all I ask, and that's what I'm impressed with the most.
That's it.
So how would you envision this third fight? I'm sure you guys have talked about it, and obviously you're not going to give away your game plan, but how do you see this third fight going as well?
And guys, feel free as I go along here, if you see anything that catches your eye or you find interesting. I know we've all seen this, but obviously we're kind of picking it apart. But if you see something that catches your eye, man, put it in the chat. If you guys are just joining, thanks for dropping by. If you just joined, we've been going on now for a little while. This will be uploaded later, so you'll be able to rewind it and go back to the beginning. But if you're just jumping in, make sure you guys are, like I said, first and foremost in the live chat, make sure that you slip, slide, and jab that like button.
Both fighters have been very adamant about the end goal.
I only see it one way. I believe that if you let Fury just do what he want to do, then he's going to do more than what you allow him to do. I think I have no doubt in my mind Deontay is going to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world, and I believe it's going to be by knockout.
And I'll send it over here to the other side now in Sugar Hill. Actually, before we get to Sugar Hill, we have Bob Arum on the stage also joining us. Bob, you do have the...
So I'm sorry, but I can't listen to Bob Arum. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. So I'm going to skip through that. But I'll try to do it slow so you can notice how she leans over and starts to talk to Deontay a little bit, and Deontay basically tells her, like, I'm not speaking tonight. But I can't, I'm sorry, I can't listen to Bob Arum. And, look at Sugar Hill, man. He's like, me? Did you say my name? I'm going to be able to speak too? Yay. He's like a little boy that sits in front of the class trying to be the teacher's pet. Doesn't Sugar Hill look like a dude that tries to be the teacher's pet in class? Look at him. That's a teacher's pet, man. Where you at, Sugar? Where you been at, bro? I've been hearing things on the streets. I've been hearing stuff, bro. Last I heard, Big Daddy John doesn't want Tyson Fury to be working with you anymore, man. What's going on? Let the people know. Let them know.
The mic right in front of you, joining us, ask you a question. You know everything that you want to say, as we are about.
Show draw. A decided fight. I really
All right,
predict.
so y'all see him talking right here. And he's just saying, like, look, I just got nothing to say. No disrespect. It's all been said, and I'm just not answering questions. If you got questions, you can go through Malik. I'm here because I got to be here. That's what he's telling her right there. I just wanted to point that out. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. For all those people that were saying Deontay Wilder didn't speak to nobody, well, he didn't speak on the mic. He didn't answer questions from the media, but he spoke to someone. This is him being cordial. He's being a gentleman right here. He's saying, look, I ain't speaking. So for all those people said that he didn't speak, well, he's speaking right here. So debunked, moving on. And FYI, man, pinned at the top of this live chat is the link to join as an official member to the channel. Become an official member to the channel. You get perks. All right. We got two different options. You got a basic little package. It's only $2.99. It basically costs you a chili dog and a large Coke at 7-Eleven. No big deal. And then we got a premium, like my boy Antoine just got. But premium gives you even more perks on top of that. And you get access to emojis like this. You got Angel Garcia, Deontay Wilder. I got two different Deontay Wilder emojis. We got a little bit of Shannon Briggs, and we got Muhammad Ali. So, you get some cool little emojis like that you guys can put down into the chat. So, it's pinned up there at the top of the chat. Make sure you click the link and continue to support the channel. I greatly appreciate you. Let's keep it moving.
Will be bigger than the first two fights, based on the orders that we're getting for tickets. They far exceed what we did in the last fight, and I really believe up or going in.
All right, Bob, that's enough.
A lot more time.
Go take a nap, Bob. Damn, how old is he? He looks older than the Bible itself.
The amount of time.
Oh, okay. Let's go, Sugar. What you got to say? There's Sugar. Class pet, a teacher's pet.
Leading into now this third fight,
Teacher's
the amount of
pet.
time you've been able to have together.
The amount of time that we've had together since rejoining together, it hasn't done anything different for us. It's always been there. It's nothing new, and
it's nothing new. We basically let me do it for you, Sugar Hill, because you look a little bit confused and hesitant. So I'll help you out. So we haven't really done anything different. We showed him how to punch so he can punch harder. And we may or may have not told him a way to like manipulate his gloves. That's neither here or there. But, we essentially helped him punch harder. And we believe that he can knock Wilder out, even though Wilder's actually never been knocked out. A disloyal trainer, I heard, threw in the towel or something like that. But obviously he wouldn't know that because this is leading up to the second fight. I apologize. But yeah, I'm just trying to help him out here. Help the man out. I don't want you to get a bad grade from the teacher. I understand you're a teacher's pet and all that. Just trying to help you out.
The only one thing that I really have to say is over that time of training and working with Tyson Fury, he now has power to knock a man out with one punch.
See?
And
What I tell you? What I tell you? He now has power to knock out a man with one punch. See? I read the man's mind.
thing that I really have to say is over that time of training and working with Tyson Fury, he now has power to knock a man out with one punch. And that's something that I'm happy that he has now, along with his other boxing skills and everything else that he knows. His boxing IQ is one punch knockout power.
Tyson told everybody before the last.
Did he just say his boxing IQ is one punch knockout power? Did I hear that correctly? My mind is playing tricks on me, man. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Power.
Tyson told everybody.
Something that I'm happy that he has now, along with his other boxing skills and everything else that he knows. His boxing IQ is one punch knockout power.
Oh my God. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. Did he just say that? Did he just say that? This man literally just said his boxing IQ is now one punch knockout power. Are y'all hearing this, man? Am I sitting in my, obviously I'm sitting in this room by myself, but am I on this live stream by myself? Did he just seriously say that? Not to mention that's a completely and ridiculous oxymoron if I've ever heard one. Do you know how dumb you actually sound, Sugar Hill? Like with all due respect, sir. Boxing IQ now is one punch power? Are we talking about the same guy here? We talking about Tyson Fury? Who are we talking about here? We talking about George Foreman? What is going on here? Did he just seriously say that at a press conference? I swear people don't. Oh my God. You know, this is why I get so frustrated with boxing, and in particular boxing channels out here on YouTube, man. They spent so much time and energy focused on how Wilder was wearing headphones and not answering questions to the media. And y'all supposed to be boxing channels, man. Y'all supposed to be non-biased. Y'all supposed to be, if you're going to criticize Wilder, you got to criticize this blasphemy that just spewed out of this man's mouth. He literally just said the ultimate oxymoron that you can possibly spill out of your mouth when talking about the sport of boxing. He said the man's IQ is now one punch power, one punch knockout power. Hey, maybe Big Daddy John knows more than we. Maybe he's smarter than what we thought he was. He said, "Hey, Tyson, you got to come back to the UK ASAP. You got to come back to the UK ASAP, Tyson." Wow.
We've had together since rejoining together. It hasn't done anything different for us. It's always been there. It's nothing new. And the only one thing that I really have to say is over that time of training and working with Tyson Fury, he now has power to knock a man out with one punch. And that's something that I'm happy that he
Hey man, somebody pull me out of the matrix. I gotta deal with enough shit every single day, with all the stuff that's going on in life in general. I gotta come on YouTube and do a film study of a big match that I'm looking forward to, and many others, thousands of other people around the world, man. And I gotta listen to this complete and utterly just nonsense. Just complete blasphemy coming out of this man's mouth, man. This man's a trainer. Hey, I nominate Deshaun Thompson from the live chat here, loyal subscriber of mine. If you guys don't know, he has the ability to teach you one punch knockout power. So y'all go hit up Deshaun Thompson. He'll sort you out. He'll set you on the right path. I can't believe what my ears are hearing right
He has now,
I can't.
along with his other boxing skills and everything else that he knows. His boxing IQ is
What he was going to do, whether
land that punch.
there's obviously
I
getting
can't. I'm
ready for
sorry.
this fight for
I can't listen to Sugar here anymore. I gotta fast
quite
forward.
some time. How did you go from that switch, it being, and everyone thinking it was going to be Anthony Joshua one day, to 2 days later, here we are with Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, it was a crazy roller coaster of fights, what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. But I always said you're never fighting somebody till you're in the ring opposite them. So it wasn't really hard for me. I never started training. I wasn't in training camp when all these negotiations were going on. So it was what it was. 1 minute I'm fighting one guy, next minute I'm fighting another guy. It's what I do. It's what I get paid to do. I get paid to beat up on people. Not a bad job, really. Yes. So, yeah, it's going to be Deontay Wilder. So, yeah, it's his.
Notice he's got his jacket on. He's got his matching Elvis Presley jacket on, 1975. That doesn't last long, though, unfortunately.
And again, let him get another good hiding. And we'll see if he wants a fourth rematch after this one. Maybe a 7th, 10th, 72. Who knows? It might go on forever.
I think a lot of people think it could be headed in that direction depending on how this fight goes. But look, I mean, we go through COVID, all this time outside of the ring, outside of fighting, long layoff, nothing that you haven't done before. But how do you continue to keep your mental health strong through everything that you've been going through in this point to get you ready for this third fight?
Yeah, I just keep training, stay motivated. Every day I wake up, it's a blessing.
Shout out to Whelan Mitchell. I just never seen anyone try to avoid a fight the way Fury is. Never heard of any of the quote-unquote greats not defending their title either. WTF. Facts.
I'm happy to be alive, I'm happy to be living, being here right now, and I look forward to today. That's how I manage my problems. I'm not looking forward to the future. I'm not looking at the past. I enjoy today, the now, living in the moment type of person. I look forward to the challenge.
But do you understand why people bring up the possibility? I think it's actually more than a possibility, but I'll just say possibility because I don't know for a fact. I'm not his doctor. I don't have his medical records or access to them. But do you understand why people say that he's bipolar, right? And he's got other mental health issues? Because 1 minute he's cold, the next minute he's hot. 1 minute he's all compassionate and extremely passionate towards everybody in life. And, he loves Jesus and loves Wilder and loves everybody at the press conference, and then the next moment he's got his shirt off, prancing around, hooting and hollering, throwing shadow boxing combinations behind Malik Scott's head. Thinks it's like a big joke. Y'all understand why people say this, right? And this is coming from the same man who accused Wilder for being mentally ill. Just want to throw that out there.
Challenge. I hope he's going to bring something different to what he did last time. Well, he needs to. Let's face facts. And let's hope he can give me a challenge. I know he's took on Malik, very experienced guy in boxing. He's had a lot of professional fights himself. And let's hope he can bring the best out of Deontay Wilder, hopefully.
Malik, with Tyson saying he's got to do something differently to get a different outcome. What is that you think that he needs to do differently when you look down and break down film?
When I look and break down film,
I know you study, you're a student of the game as well. So.
I don't feel as though this is not a thing of like so many different things Deontay have to do, because in my opinion, he wasn't able to do anything in the last fight. So it's about the mental adjustments he's made to the craft. And I think that's going to pay big dividends for him when you're in with a guy like Tyson Fury. You know what I'm trying to say? A lot of people have been seeing me and Deontay work, and they say, oh, they never seen him do this. They never seen him do that.
Mhm.
These people haven't been seeing him in the gym. So we'll say Bermain Stavern second fight. That whole camp before Bermain Stavern the second fight, Deontay was boxing on his toes, doing all type of stuff. Before that, when we was getting ready for years back, I think it was Calvin Price. He was boxing on his toes. See, these are all things I've always seen and took notes and said to myself, if I ever get the opportunity to work with him, I'm just going to make the most things he do subconsciously, I'm going to make him drill those things. And that's what we do now. We repetitiously drill good things that most.
And Malik Scott's very well spoken man. I like Malik Scott. I think it's a blessing for him to be in Wilder's corner.
People haven't seen him doing in big fights.
It's hard to take a fighter off his first professional loss, and then you have to sit there going through a lockdown and through COVID, and then we hear all these allegations and things like that coming out. So just things that you can do to kind of just even keep your fighter in line and focus at the task in hand. What was that kind of those last months like doing that?
It wasn't really hard because like I've been telling the reporters, if we got out the ring with Fury in the second fight at 12:45, we was disappointed and we had a long talk and everything, but literally.
I mentioned earlier that I think Deontay Wilder's listening to some instrumentals, possibly some hip-hop instrumentals sent by his boys there back in Alabama, just chilling. But actually, looking at his demeanor here, I think he's actually listening to possibly some jazz, some blues, some jazz, just chilling. Looks very relaxed, very composed. Everything's going according to plan. He's just sitting there patiently waiting for the face-off so he can roll up out of there and get back to training.
Around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., Deontay was already putting his plan into play on what he wanted done, how he wanted to, rededicate himself, how he wanted to do everything correct to get the title back. And he's done that, and I'm expecting him to win and win in grand fashion.
Why do you think that Deontay doesn't want to answer any questions up here today?
Well, number one, he's very stubborn. You know what I mean? Even though he's rededicated his life and everything to the craft, he's very stubborn. But like most legends or like most gifted people, they have.
It's a very interesting point that Malik Scott's about to point out here that is very, very true.
Very stubborn, but like most legends or like most gifted people, they have their things with them. Like even Fury, he has his things with him. A lot of people think he's crazy. Most people that are like that, Marvin Gaye is one of my favorite artists of all time, musician-wise. He had his thing with him. Michael Jackson, these people have their thing with him. But what I do, as long as Deontay give me what I want in the gym, long as he give me what I'm asking for when he's sparring, I don't care about the stubbornness. We're going to get this work done because we got a big task ahead, and it's my job and his job to make sure it get done.
So perhaps even portraying a different demeanor, considering what he came here to do. I mean, I asked him about answering questions, and he said,
Andre Ward's wife described him as stubborn as well. I mean, there's no doubt about it that Deontay Wilder is stubborn. Sometimes stubbornness is actually a good thing. You know what I mean? And I want to point something out. A lot of people criticize donkeys for being stubborn and makes them difficult to work with, but at least donkeys have enough sense to not run off a cliff. But horses do. Horses do what you tell them to do. They'll jump right off a cliff. Stubbornness is useful.
The talking is done. It's just time to do business and to put in work. So I'm going to send it over to Tyson. Now, what do you make of the fact that Deontay doesn't want to answer any questions?
It shows how weak of a mental person he is, and how much of the beating from the last fight has taken him.
Here to do. I mean, I asked him.
So here comes the whole mental illness. He's mentally weak and all this stuff. And that's what the media latches onto. That's literally what the media and boxing fans, Fury fans in particular, latched on to right here at this very moment when Fury says it just shows his mental weakness.
About answering questions, and he said, the talking is done. It's just time to do business and to put in work. So I'm going to send it over to Tyson. Now, what do you make of the fact that Deontay doesn't want to answer any questions?
It shows how weak of a mental person he is.
How weak of a mental person he is. Here's a couple things on that note. First off, I believe it was Tyson Fury who got addicted to cocaine, who was an alcoholic, who ballooned up to 400 pounds, who was contemplating suicide. One could argue that that is a sign of mental illness or weakness. Call it depression, call it anxiety, call it whatever you want to call it. I've dealt with PTSD. I'm ex-military. I know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes mental strength and mental fortitude to bring you out of that despair, to bring you out of that depression and anxiety and paranoia and all the things that come along with it. So, on that note, a lot of people will say, well, he did come out of addiction. He overcame it. That showed mental strength. Yes. But not without the help from Deontay Wilder. Without the fight happening with Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder, the champion, the WBC champion, not accepting that fight, where would Tyson Fury be right now? He had 2 tune-up fights, and let's be honest, he looked pretty terrible fighting taxi drivers on his way to try and get in shape to fight someone like Deontay Wilder. So I want people to keep that in mind. Another note on that is that, as I mentioned earlier in this live stream, that it's actually Wilder who is displaying a lot of mental strength right here in this very moment during this press conference. I mentioned earlier, if you joined later, that we have a thing called military bearing. For those who've been in the military before, the 1,000-yard stare, being focused, not being distracted by anything around you. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You stay focused at the task at hand. You don't flinch. You don't blink. Steady, controlled. That takes mental strength. See, obviously, Fury has a tainted understanding of what mental strength is. I'll just leave it at that.
And how much of the beating from the last fight has took an emotional, physical effect on his life. I was worried about Deontay Wilder for quite a while after the defeat that I gave him. And obviously he's doing his little thing with his earphones on and he doesn't want to answer any questions. That's up to him. But I'm here to promote a fight and talk to the press, what I always do. So if Deontay Wilder doesn't want to commit to this.
Yeah, and I know you're disappointed, Fury. I know you're disappointed that Wilder didn't play your little game and you couldn't be the highlight of the evening or afternoon or whatever it is they did this press conference. But I know you're disappointed, Fury. You're not only disappointed that you couldn't be the highlight of the press conference, but you're also equally, if not more, disappointed that you even have to be there because you didn't want to be there. Let's keep it real. You didn't want to be there. You wanted to be in Saudi Arabia promoting the Joshua fight. But that's your fault. That's your fault for trying to pretend, because you can't act like you didn't know that there was a contract written and a guaranteed third fight. That's your fault. So you can be disappointed all you want. Nobody feels sorry for you. At least not over here. We don't. You got to face the music on October 9th. All you did was prolong the inevitable. That's all you did. Prolong the inevitable from July 24th to October 9th.
Take Deontay Wilder's part. So I'll play double character if you want. Yeah, I'm quite good at doing these.
So here comes the sarcasm again. You know, I refer back to what I was saying earlier. Hot, cold, passionate, compassionate, love and peace. And then here comes the sarcasm, the disrespect, and all the other different things. Constantly. Have y'all been around people like this before? I have. I don't know if you guys been around people like this before. I met a lot of people like Tyson Fury. That's probably why I get so infuriated. But this hot and cold shit, I can't be around people like this, man. I can't be around this lukewarm people. You either straight up and down, and that's it. If you want to be in my circle, you got to be straight up and down. I don't do none of this sideways, twisties, and being hot and cold. And 1 minute you trying to be cool, the next minute you trying to stab me behind the back. Like I don't get down with these type of people, man. I don't know how other people. That's why I don't understand how people can be a Tyson Fury fan. Honestly, like boxing to the side, like how could you even like a man like this, man? He's unstable. Like I don't even know how other way to say it. He's just simply unstable. Like why would you even want to be affiliated or associated with anybody like that? I don't get it at all.
Role-playing stuff. So I'll be Deontay Wilder and I'll be Tyson Fury, and we'll play a little game. So here's me taken as Tyson Fury. So he's employed
sarcasm
Scott
at its finest
to help him. And as Malik said, Wilder is a stubborn person, so he's got his own mentality and he wants to do things his own way. So to listen to other people is not what Deontay Wilder does. So
definitely ain't going to do it your way.
Teaches Deontay,
we're not doing it your way, Fury.
Deontay's going to do what Deontay's going to do.
That's wrong.
That's right. He's going to knock you out. That's what he's going to do.
He's been doing everything I've asked him and told him to do.
Yeah, but like Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a game plan until they get punched.
So this is where Fury and Malik Scott start having their little verbal battle here. Let me know in the chat what you think about it. I'll leave my commentary as we go.
Yeah, but you're talking about as far as training. He's doing everything.
Yeah, he can
plus
do that.
more.
But in the real fight I'm talking about, he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to revert straight back to type, 100%. As soon as he hits him with the first right hand, he's going to see red and he's going to I'm going to take his head off.
Sugar Hill just said you're a one-punch knockout artist now, but there's no history of you knocking someone out with one punch. So that means when a fight gets started, or you want to go back
he's going to go straight back to revert, 100%. You heard it here first.
No, but he just asked you a question, dumbass. He just literally asked you, Sugar Hill said that you now have one punch knockout power. You're accusing Wilder of reverting back to what he knows. So you're basically saying it doesn't matter what you teach him, Malik Scott. He's going to go back to what he knows, and that is try to just knock me out, and he can't do it. Which is fine. That's your opinion. But then Malik Scott clearly asked you, well, your man over there, the teacher's pet, Sugar Hill, just said you now possess one punch knockout power. So if you can't knock out Wilder with one punch, are you going to revert back to what you know best, which is boxing? And you blatantly divert that question and then continue to attack Deontay Wilder. See, this is not a man of integrity, in my opinion. Malik Scott asked a very honest and upfront question. People don't pay attention to the small details, man. I'm telling you, they don't. They don't. This is why I do this, man. This is exactly why I do these film studies. Because when October 9th is said and done, on the night of October 9th, when Deontay Wilder is victorious, I want people to remember why it happened the way it did.
And another thing is, you can't expect him to do something that you couldn't do.
Like what? Knock you out?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, but me and you never fought, Tyson. You bust my eardrum
I know, but
when we
we
sparred.
did spar, didn't we?
Yeah,
We know what happened
you're
there.
a 260-pound man that can
Yeah.
fight. You bust my eardrum the first
Exactly.
time we sparred. That's not something to brag about. You can fight. That's what you do.
I know, but like you can't teach him to be some great fighter when you wasn't.
So notice how Fury and Malik Scott are going at it. And take notice to Deontay. he's just so over it. He's just done with it. Like literally. I'll blow that up a little bit. But what is this shit? Oh man. I don't know how that just happened. I apologize, man. What? Anyways, I had the damn thing up and then did YouTube pulling some shenanigans again, man? See, they're never giving me a break. Let me see if I can pull this back up real quick. All right, I got it. Apologize for that, man. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened there. I'll pull it back up. But yeah, just take notice here to Deontay, man, just like literally chilling. and you know, it's funny because if Deontay was sitting where Malik is sitting, it wouldn't be as entertaining to me because the simple fact that Malik is literally speaking across Deontay and Deontay's just in his zone. In his zone.
Tyson, who's teaching him to be a great fighter? I'm adding on to everything that he do.
Well, we will see in the fight.
No, real quick.
The way I see it
Go ahead.
is, right, he's got rid of Mark Breland because Mark Breland's a cheater, whatever he said. And he's employed you. I think you've been working with him for a long time. I'm not here to disrespect you or anything because you're his trainer. You're not boxing. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying.
I'm not here to disrespect you, yeah, mate, but basically I'm going to disrespect you, yeah, because basically, yeah, I'm the boss here. I'm the Gypsy King, and you're going to listen to everything that I fucking say. This, that. You understand what I'm saying to you, mate, yeah? I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm not having a go at you, mate, but basically, I'm having a go at you. So just take it like a man.
Saying what I think at the moment. Like, everyone has this game plan of they're going to do something against me until they get in there, as we all know, because we've seen it so many times.
Was Sugar Hill a great fighter that teaches you very well?
No, he wasn't.
But
This
so
is what I'm saying.
why would you say, how am I going to teach him and I wasn't a great fighter?
I don't believe that. You can teach him in the gym as much as you want.
Right.
But as soon as he gets in the ring, Deontay Wilder's got 43
But that's what we got the date
he's
for.
going to do.
That's what we're going to see July 24th.
Well, we will see. But I'm going to state it here first. I'm going to stamp my claim that he's going to be the same old Deontay Wilder we've always seen.
You're supposed to see that.
And that's that. So, yeah, just because you both got your eardrums bursting sparring and fights, it is what it is. But I can't see him doing anything different. Maybe I'm wrong, but who knows? It doesn't matter.
But see, listen what I'm saying real quick. Say if you couldn't fight and you did that to me.
Yeah.
That I would feel like shit. I'm boxing Tyson Fury. The first day I boxed him, he bust my eardrum. Then I come back to box him again the next day. And then the next day it happened and I couldn't hear and couldn't continue to box. That's nothing brag. This shit happens in boxing.
Of course.
But you're bringing that up as if
you brought it up. You said I popped your eardrum. I didn't mention it.
No. But you just said, well, if he's getting bust up in sparring or if he's getting bust up in a fight, that's
Look at Deontay, man, during this whole. It's like he feels the energy. Like he knows that Malik Scott is getting amped up. But man, like for real, the mental fortitude of him to just stay out of it, it must be tough for a man like Deontay, who's a very passionate person.
You bust my ear. It's okay though, Ty. That's what happens in boxing.
I didn't mention the ear
You
busting.
just did at the end. You just did at the end.
You started with the ear busting. I didn't mention it.
Okay.
But as we're on the topic of ear busting, don't we find it funny that I busted both of these guys' eardrums, trainer and fighter? Crazy. Statistics.
Did you just laugh at your own joke, Tyson?
Tyson Sugar.
Did you literally just laugh at your own joke?
Trainer and fighter. Crazy. Statistics.
Ha 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 ha. See you on October 9th if you even show up.
Tyson Sugar Hill.
I'm going to be aiming for Deontay Wilder's ears in the next fight. Burst, burst, burst.
Tyson, you talked about, and Sugar Hill has talked about developing that one punch knockout power. You said exactly how the last fight was going to go. I went back and watched all the press conferences, and it went exactly how you said. So,
Y'all hear Malik Scott? One
is
nudge,
it going to
one,
be
one,
in your anticipation
one
a
punch
Yeah.
knockout
one-punch
power.
knockout,
What?
or how do you see this third fight
I tell you how I see
playing
it.
out?
And I gave my game plan away the first time because he wasn't good enough to do anything about it. And I'll do the same thing this time because he's not good enough to do anything about it. Deontay Wilder's a one-trick pony. He's got one punch power. We all know that. Great. But what I'm going to do to Deontay Wilder this time is I'm going to run him over as if I'm an 18-wheeler and he's a human being. And I guarantee you he does not go.
This is when he brought up the 18-wheeler, and then, of course, Deontay countered with that later with his bench pressing video on Instagram and said he's going to be a train. We all remember that. Toot, toot. Yeah, we remember that, right? That's where it stemmed from. But I don't have anything to say about a sociopath like Tyson, man. At this point, like, it is what it is.
Past
Just
what
let
he
him
did
rant
before.
on.
Because before I only had 5 or 6 weeks of practicing what I was going to do to him. This time I've had 18 months of practicing what I'm going to do to him. So I anticipate.
But you
it's gonna
haven't
be
been
like an
training for
18-wheeler
18
running over
months.
somebody. And that's
You
what
haven't
you're
been
gonna see.
training.
I'm building my weight up. I'm trying to get up to 300 pounds for this fight.
No, you're not.
Um,
That's a lie.
yeah, because I'm looking for a big knockout straight away.
No, that's a lie. Okay, I've seen your recent pictures, Tyson Fury. You're looking lean. You're actually cutting weight. And stop with the BS. You haven't been training for 18 months. Okay, that's a lie. And if you have been training, you haven't been training for Deontay Wilder. Maybe you were training for for Anthony Joshua, but you weren't training for Deontay Wilder.
I don't believe he's mentally, physically, or emotionally involved in this fight. I think he's doing it for the wrong reasons. And when people do things for the wrong reasons,
Wow.
they always wind up getting hurt. So we'll see on fight night if I'm a man to my word and if I can run him over quicker than round 7. And I think I do, for sure.
Malik, I'm sure you guys were always confident because Deontay's plan was always to get this third fight, no matter what was going to happen. So if I can just ask you one more time to respond to how Tyson Fury believes that this fight is going to go down based on what you guys have worked on, I'd imagine you say no way.
You asked me, what do I think of Tyson's prediction?
Yes.
I think it's just cliche. A fighter supposed to think he's going to, especially he had a good night the last time. He had his best night on Deontay Wilder's worst night. The
Facts.
stars just lined up for him. That's not going to be the same in the trilogy.
Yep.
All right. He's not got any final comments that you'd like to make?
Do you want to ask Deontay Wilder a question?
I did try, but Deontay is going
I'll
to.
answer it for him. It's fine.
That's okay. That's okay, you guys. Anything else, Malik, that you would like to say? No? Deontay, you're good? He's good? Anybody else? Any final comments here, since this is the one and only press conference that we're going to have here, and then we get ready to take some photos here, and then you'll have to answer from the media. Anything else? Bob, anything else you'd like to say, Bob?
Nope. Bob has nothing to
Go
say.
Just, it's going to be a great fight. And you can see Deontay Wilder is saving his energy by not saying anything. Good. Maybe that'll help him in the fight. I doubt it.
Champ, I'll give you the final word.
Sorry, I just can't listen to Bob. I'm sorry.
Thank you, everybody, for turning out for this one-sided press conference. Yeah, hopefully the media have some good
All
questions.
right, here comes the
Get some answers
face-off.
and stuff.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming.
Oh, they didn't show it? Oh, is this it?
Arena.com to get your tickets. It's an all heavyweight pay-per-view, all culminating in the main event.
All right, so back to shirtless again. Elvis Presley, 1975 pants there with the Louis Vuitton belt on, chain hanging low, hat turned backwards, looking just a complete mess. And look at Deontay Wilder. Look at Deontay Wilder. Look at Deontay Wilder. He can't wait to go back to Alabama and get back to training. Look at him.
With these two guys right here, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3. Thank you for joining us. Deontay?
So I think that Deontay's about to take his sunglasses off, and then it gets real. Ah. Ah. Now you're looking uncomfortable now, aren't you, Fury? As soon as you look into the man's eyes, you saw the fire burning. The skies are black and the clouds are moving in. Yeah. Why you get all fidgety when he takes his glasses off, Fury? Ah. look at fucking Bob Arum. Why is this man 5,623 years old? Why? What is going on? What is going on? What is Bob Arum doing? Sitting there in the back corner with his little smirk ass fucking grin on his face.
And new.
Based off of what I see from at least my point of view, Tyson is a little bit taller by an inch or two. Fury is so uncomfortable, man. You know why? Because all of this shirtless bullshit that he's got off here looking like a mess, all this clowning, it's kind of backfiring him at this point, having to stand there in front of all these cameras with Deontay just staring into his soul. He's extremely uncomfortable. And people were saying that Wilder was looking uncomfortable. Like, how? What, because he's got headphones on? You see, that's what the people want, though. They want Fury to get up in his face and talk a bunch of craziness and have Wilder get sucked up into it and have a little verbal battle with each other. That's what the people wanted, man, and they didn't get it. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. What has been said has been said. It's done and dusted. And this is the man that was supposed to fight. Look at the left of your screen. Look at the left side of your screen. This is the man that was supposed to fight on July 24th. This is also the man who said he got COVID. But the question is, will this be the man that will show up October 9th? That's the real question.
Yeah, I think they wanted to look forward.
Let's go Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad. Let's go Bomb Squad.
We can't hear you.
Let's go Bomb
And they had them up there, standing up there for a long time. I didn't even realize how long it is. This is the uncut version of the face-off.
Can we have you guys turn and face forward to the cameras that are watching, please?
Wilder can't hear shit. This is history in the making, people. What you're watching right here, this is history in the making right here. It doesn't get any better than this. It literally doesn't get any better than this. This is why I do these film studies. Tyson Fraudy, damn bro, you expose this on another level. This is why I do it. It's not for kicks and giggles. There's a reason why I do this. This is the last face-off that we're going to see, people, right here. This is the last one, what you got up on your screen right now. This is the last time we're going to see it until they meet up with each other at the weigh-in. This is it. And they were saying that Wilder was scared.
To this day. The main event. Let them do what they do.
And this is seriously an extremely long face-off. And I seriously didn't realize how long it is. They've already asked him to face forward, but obviously Wilder can't hear nothing. And Fury refuses to turn away because Wilder won't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Security is on deck, y'all. Two times.
And here comes Tyson's brother up there. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but he's up there shouting "Bum Squad" and calling him a Dawsa. You're a Dawsa, mate.
Two times.
Sit your Pillsbury ass down. Pillsbury looking ass. Nobody cares about you.
Two times. You get in there next year.
You or Dose. This is why Wilder's wearing headphones. I'm telling you right now, this is why Wilder is wearing headphones. I'm telling you, this is why Wilder is literally wearing headphones. Imagine all the turmoil, animosity, and the things that have happened prior to the second fight. And all the things that Wilder had to deal with, man. I can't even, honestly, I can't even imagine it. All of that energy that he's got pent up inside of him. Fury and Fury's Pillsbury ass looking brother right there behind Fury, pointing his finger and screaming Dossa and bum and all this. There's a reason why Wilder's got headphones on, and they should be thanking their lucky stars that he is. Man, I can't wait for October 9th.
We gonna see 2 times.
No jokes here. Good, sir. Only big eye.
2 times.
Who you talking to? Fury's brother. Like, what's this dude's name? I forget. That's how irrelevant he is in my life. But who you talking to? Obviously, you ain't talking to Wilder because Wilder got headphones on. You know he can't hear you, dumbass. Ah, damn, it's annoying.
2 times. 2 times.
He left, Fury. Move along now. Did he just say you four-eyed prick? What are we, in elementary school? I mean, literally, this is what we're dealing with. A bunch of kids, a bunch of children. The dude's got his shirt off. Like I said, Elvis Presley, 1975 pants with the Louis Vuitton belt. Hat turned backwards. Look at his brother. Look at his brother. At least Tyson Fury has enough sense to wear a belt. This dude's shorts are about to fall off. He's wearing golfer shorts with a polo, a white polo, which is obviously, he must have just came from the golf course. That's the only type of exercise the man gets is, you know, going from the driving range into the golf court, you know, and moving from hole to hole. That's about the amount of movement that he makes. And then, of course, he has the audacity to try to be talking shit to everybody on Wilder's team like he's going to do something. You ain't going to do nothing. And then you go and say, oh, be quiet, you four-eyed prick. I mean, how old are you, 12? I mean, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with right here. Look at Tyson Fury, man. The dude's a mess. The man's a mess. And I hope that he comes in October 9th looking better than this. Like, real talk, all jokes to the side. I hope he shows up October 9th looking better than this, man. Because I don't want to hear any excuses. When he almost knocked him out in the first fight, people kept saying, oh, the only reason why he got close to knocking him out because he was on a 4-year layoff or whatever they say, or how many ever years it was, sniffing the white powder, contemplating suicide, you know, drinking whiskey bottles every day, ballooning up to 400 pounds. And, you know, it took him a long time to get back into fighting shape. And so that was the excuse then. So going into the third fight, I don't want to hear any excuses. I hope he looks better than this because I can hear it already. Could you imagine this mess that you're looking at right now, laying face flat on the canvas, love handles pouring out the side of his boxing trunks, eyes roll in the back of his head? What people will say, you know what they'll say? They say, you see, it's not the right Tyson Fury. It's not the Tyson Fury that we should have had, because he had COVID and he was dealing with his daughter being sick and whatnot, and he couldn't really train properly, and that's why he got knocked out. So, real talk, honestly, I hope he shows up better on October 9th, like with a better physique, better in shape than what this is just a complete disaster here. And then you got your brother. You got your brother here, like, seriously, man? What's this guy's name? Somebody leave this man's name. I can't be calling him Pillsbury Doughboy, man. That I don't, I can only be disrespectful so much. But yo, like, what's Tyson Fury's brother's name, man? He's so irrelevant in my life that I don't even care to even know his name. Like, seriously. Bro, you just came from the golf course. Your shirt is halfway tucked in and halfway tucked out. You probably haven't taken a shower in a week. I'm just beside myself at this point. I'm literally beside myself. So that was it. That was it. 2-hour live stream breaking down the fight. Sorry, not the fight, the press conference. Apologize. I wish it was the third fight already. July 24th already came and passed. I wish we can be talking about the ending of that fight. I would be ready to talk about the ending of that fight until Kingdom Come. But unfortunately, it was just a press conference. But like I said, that's the last time we're going to see these two men face off before the fight, or at least until the weigh-in. And I wanted to bring a lot of things to light. So if you join into the stream late, this will be uploaded on the channel. You can go back, rewind, and watch it from the beginning. But a lot of things we looked at, as always, just like the second fight film study that I did, pointed out a lot of interesting things that a lot of people didn't notice. And this is why I do what I do. But I do want to do one more thing for you guys before I leave and leave you with a little bonus. Bonus footage of Deontay Wilder, just to finish this live stream off with a nice little cherry on top. I think you guys will appreciate it. Especially that I've made this particular live stream for subscribers and members only, because my tolerance level is basically 0 at this point. I did a 6-hour live stream the other day, and I had to battle with the Fury fan for at least 3 hours of that, so I couldn't take it anymore. So this one's for you, my subscribers and my members, the ones who've been loyal and logical and respectful. This whole live stream was for you, dedicated to you guys. I'm going to leave you guys with one more bonus, as I said, as I promised. And like I said, I think you guys will appreciate it. And before you guys go, and before I end this live stream, consider becoming an official member of the channel. The link is pinned up at the top of the chat. Just click that link right there. They'll set you all up. Get all your perks. All you guys who are not official members of the channel, y'all deserve the perks, man, for all the time and effort that you put in showing love to the channel. And if not, send a real quick super chat before you guys leave, man. But here comes the bonus footage.
And that's just bottom line. I don't care. You never heard me talk about
how big I want to be or what. I give a fuck about that. I don't want to be big. I don't care who knows me. I like to be low key, down low. That's the way I roll. That way nobody won't understand or know what I have or possess. That way they won't have to be sitting back lurking and try to rob from me, because I pity the fool that does that. I have a lot of people around me, positive energy, positive speaking, positive believing, until that energy is broken. And then there's consequences behind their action. See, I don't care about all that. But what I do care about is protecting my family and providing for them. But what's I'm gonna do? I got a beautiful life, man. I got a happy life. I'm a happy being. Only time y'all see me in rage is when I turn into the bronze mama. But this is the week of the fight. This is the time for it to happen, to everything to come out. I feel it, bro. You can't feel the power.
Deontay,
Energy. Oh,
Deontay,
goodness.
Radio Raheem.
Oh, my
Listen, man, you said that your people have been fighting for 400 years.
Man, your
We
people's
know-
too.
Ah,
I just want you to
shit.
explain what you
Your
mean
people's
by
too.
that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Shit.
Y'all all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't sit up here and try to bait and not know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the fuck I talk about when I say these things. Your people too.
Explain it.
I
Not
ain't gotta
everybody knows
explain
what you're
what's
talking about.
understood. Radio Raheem, I don't have to explain what's understood, man. You know what I mean by that. You know what I say about that. I ain't gotta go further. And if anybody don't understand that, then God be with them. Go look up the history. Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I dare you to sit up there and say,
Ah, shit,
explain.
the
You know
glasses
what I'm
came off
talking about,
again.
man. He's fighting people. You know
The
and
glasses
still
came off
fighting
again.
to this day. To this day.
The glasses came off again. Hey, this is what Tyson Fury saw at the press conference right here. When the glasses come off. Notice how fast Radio Raheem is chewing his gum here. Jaw muscles all flexing and shit. He's about to break his own jaw. He's chewing so fast and hard.
You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I dare you to sit up there and say, explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. He's fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here and you don't know what I'm talking about? Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on, let's go, man.
And pay close attention to what Radio Raheem says right after Deontay walks away.
Let's go.
Radio Raheem with Deontay Wilder. We know what he's talking about.
Oh my God. Hey, that's a special treat for everyone, man, that I wanted to end this on a high note, man. Till this day, we've been out here standing up for what we believe is right, you know. And like I said earlier in this live stream, I've been supporting Deontay Wilder for a long time. So before anybody wants to accuse me of jumping on the Wilder train, I've been on the train. Putting the work in, making the videos, letting people know that this man will be, at some point, the most feared man in the heavyweight division. And he is. This man right here. So I've been on the train. Where you been at? Where have you been at? Antoine, man, thanks for the super chat once again. I appreciate it, man. I do put a lot of time and energy and effort into these videos, and I certainly don't do it for myself. I do it for you guys, you know, and I do it for anybody else who drops by once it's uploaded. And I'm going to ruffle feathers. I always do. Someone will probably make a video about me and how much they hate me, you know. And, you know, I'm a self-hating white man and all this different stuff that I have to deal with. But I do it because I feel passionate about it. And at the end of the day, like I said, I've been a Deontay Wilder fan. I'm going to continue to be one, win or lose. Y'all need to stay strong to your convictions. I appreciate you guys stopping by today. Go and have yourself a good, solid Monday. Get your hustle on. Make that bread. Take care of yourself and your family. Be strong, be positive, be safe out there. I'll be on here again. If I'm not here on Tuesday, I have a guaranteed time slot on Wednesday. You guys should know by now. If you don't know, I have my schedule posted every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Saturday's the Firestorm. Saturday's where we bring people on, we bring guests on. So if I'm not here tomorrow making some type of video, I definitely will be here on Wednesday. Wednesday will be night, I believe. I'll be here Wednesday night for another one. And again, guys, I appreciate you more than you know. I appreciate you. If you guys came in late, make sure you drop by and watch the beginning, because we went from the very beginning to the end of the press conference, brick by brick.